Okay, I don't know if the hot glue is going to work or even stay together even if it works right away, but for today this is what I'm doing. And if it does come apart in the future, then I will probably come in and do the glossy accents after all and stuff. Okay, that looks like that will work for me, at least for today. So that's what I'm gonna do. I really don't like working with hot glue because I feel too rushed, because it makes stringy trouble, and because if you get some like that, it's, I don't know, I just find it really hard to work with. But sometimes it is the way to go. Okay. I'll deal with the strings better after. Right now I'm mostly trying to make sure that I cover up the pen mark. Ow. See, that's the other reason. It's hard to avoid hurting yourself. This one isn't too bad, but I have another one very similar to this that it gets very, very hot, and it gets very hot very fast, and I burn myself like crazy with that one, so I've not been using that one because, well, it's just dangerous, especially in my hands. Okay, I guess it's dry enough that I can put this on. Yeah, if I had been generous enough with the glossy accents, it would have worked, because it worked right there. Yeah, my glossy accents, I love that stuff, and I don't want to waste it, so. But I already told you that a few times. I find that I get very repetitive sometimes. Okay, last one. The one good thing about a glue gun is that you can get to cutting and stuff like that faster. You can get to the next step faster, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, deal with the worst of the strings and such. Okay, and then use the scissors that are designated for this kind of stuff. And trim. And I will probably save the bits for using in something. Because they're neat. Okay, so not perfect, but so this is the idea, and I'll be back once I've cut them all, once I've trimmed them all. Okay, it's my opinion that this is pretty. The little bits, that looks neat. So I am going to save that. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to. And so here they are, all trimmed. And so you're probably asking yourself, well, what are you going to do with those? So I'll show you when I put them in the window, I'll show you that. But you could also use them as a card focal. So it could be, so it could be like this, or the card could have a hole, you know, an egg-shaped hole on the inside, and so that you could see both sides of it, because both sides are kind of neat looking. I mean, this side's not as pretty, but if it, yeah, anyway. So yeah, you could put it on a card, or you could just, yeah, basically they're just decorations, and I think they're gonna look good in the window, so I'm gonna go test out that theory, and I'll be back. Okay, on Sunday, my actual birthday, Franklin took me to Michael's, and I picked up this gadget. I actually have 4 sizes. I have 2 sets. I have the smaller ones and this one. And what they are is they're pom-pom makers, and oh my gosh, I love these things. Before, I was using cardboard pieces that I cut for myself, but as you can see, they don't last very long, and they don't work very well, and so I had to keep remaking these if I wanted to make a lot. And I did have to make a lot when I made that St. Patrick's Day wreath. But anyway, I have this now, and I absolutely love this. I will try to remember to put a link to a video where I first learned about these. I didn't know they existed until I watched him make his video, and he shows how to use it and everything. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I saw that and that I have this now, because it makes making pom-poms so much easier and faster, and they look good in my opinion. And I just realized that if you kind of shape them, you can make them look like eggs. You just kind of, or you can do just like I was just doing there, just kind of pat it, or you can trim them with the scissors so that they are more egg-shaped. You know, just kind of trim the edges, but I think that's pretty cool. I absolutely love this pom-pom maker. And what I intend to do is to make critters, pom-pom critters, like cats and mice and whatever. But yeah, I used this for the first time this morning, and oh my gosh, I'm just very happy. So yeah. So that's it for that. Okay, so for these, I think that I am just going to paint them. But if you wanted to, you now, and I forgot to put the hinge in before I set it to dry, and I kind of wasn't thinking and it doesn't, I mean, it, see that? It's not like that. It's, you know, there's a dent there that I don't really like, but it's still kind of neat to have like a little, I don't even know what you'd call it, but so I think I'm just gonna leave it without the hinge so that you can just kind of do that, or you can, you know, you can set it like that, or you can put a little peep in there and pretend that he broke out of his egg and, or whatever, and stuff. I think, like I said, I think I'm just gonna paint these. And I think that I forgot to show you that I made a Pitted Technique egg. So yeah, if you watch my videos called Pitted Technique, or that's in the title anyway, you can see how that's done. But you can, and in that video's description there's also a link to Jennings' video that shows how she does it. So yeah, so there's that one. Oh, and I'll show you how I did that one too. This is pretty easy. So for this one, I just had a sheet like this, a piece of scrap paper where I had written some notes, and I don't need the notes anymore. So I just drew myself an egg, and since I have a template now, I'm gonna do this. So I just drew myself an egg in the writing. And then I just decorated it with, for this one I drew it with a pen. Decorations on it with the pen too. But today I'm using a pencil, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then I just decided what I wanted what the decorations were gonna be, and just colored them in with different colored pencils. And then once I was done with that, and I just added a shadow on one side, and just a tiny bit of a shadow there too, but like very narrow and faint. But on this side it's darker and wider. So yeah, so that's how that's done. For these, I mean, you could cover them with napkin, or you could cover them with tissue paper again, or you could even cover them, glue beads or something like that on them, or, you know, whatever you want to do. You could even cover them in lace or material, or, you know, lots of possibilities. But I think I'm just going to paint them. Okay, so these are just old paints that need to be used up. They're like really in bad shape. This one might not even, maybe it will. And this one is like very, it's started to dry up, but it's kind of separated, so the liquid is sitting on top of the big glob of paint, and so I might not even be able to get any of this one. And this one, I don't know if I have any left in there actually. Yeah, I guess I do. So we'll see. So I'll do one at a time. I will. I'm not sure if I want to use yellow. I think I want some of this, if I can get some out. Now see, it's making bubbles. and it doesn't want to come out. But okay, I'm gonna struggle with this and try to get some out. Okay, so I shook it as much as I could, but that's not even working. I shoved this up there, and it's a skewer, and I have a liquidy mess here. And it looks like that's about all I'm going to be able to get out of it until I break open the tube, and I'm not ready to do that yet because I don't have a project that I'm going to use that much red on yet. So let's see how this one is doing. Okay, this one works the way it should, but there isn't much left. So I'm just going to use this skewer, since it's already messed up, to mix myself a purple color if I can. Yeah, that's kind of purplish. Okay, it's a little bit dark, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with it, and just gonna this brush is, the paint is peeling off and making a mess everywhere. Okay, and of course, once I've got this stuff on there, it'll need to dry. And I obviously did not mix enough, but I mean, that was all I could get out of it without struggling too long. So maybe the bottom of it will be darker and more blue. I wonder if I can get more in there. A little bit. Now, I'm told that you should never use your brush to mix your paint because it's hard on your brushes, and my brushes do tend to get used up in a hurry. Like I ruin my brushes. So, it's probably true, is my point. So I've decided that since the bottom's going to be this darker purple color, this is more like a magenta or something. Anyway, this is more purple. Since the bottom's going to be this color, I will do the top too. Ran out again, so I'm gonna finish it off with blue, I guess, because I don't really have a choice. Come on, you can do it. Just a little bit. Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. You can decorate them however you would like to. And if you're patient, unlike me, and do one side and then let it dry and then do the other side, then you won't end up messing up what you've already done, like I'm doing right now, by holding it where it's still wet. And the bottom will be blue because that's what's left over. And it doesn't really matter what the bottom looks like because it's not really going to be seen because it's going to stand up like that. Okay, and this one. Okay, now I really should put this brush in water or wash it right away, but hopefully it won't get ruined just long enough for me to get this egg done. Laurie, that's for you. Okay, and let's see. Oh wow. Ooh, I just had an idea. What if I drip? Okay, bad idea. It's not gonna work. But, yeah, I was thinking I could do drippage over the egg. Ah, my fingers are dirty, and so my egg is dirty now. Anyway, I'm just going to cover this egg yellow, and I'll be back when they're dry enough to do more to them.